No.
The camera's behind you.
Oh. Oh.
Hey guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back. Why is there a sewing machine behind me, you ask? Well, because we're gonna be sewing today. I really want to make a summer dress out of this yellow fabric because I kind of promised a Goodwill employee that I bought it from that I would make a summer dress in honor of her. Well, that sounds like she died. She didn't die. She just really wanted me to make a summer dress with it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Also, I have had many, well, maybe just like 4 requests to bring my grandma back on my channel because I made a wrap dress video. My grandma helped me. She's so sweet. She's the one that taught me how to sew. And then everyone was like, where's your grandma? We want to see your grandma. Where's grandma? Bring grandma back. I'm starting to think people don't really want to see me anymore. They want to see my grandma. So I invited my grandma, which she'll be here in a second, to help me sew a summer dress completely from scratch. We're not going to use a commercial pattern. We're just going to make a pattern by ourselves. So we're going to see how that goes because sometimes it's kind of hit or miss, but I think she's here now. So everybody, welcome back, Grandma. Oh man, I'm sweaty. Grandma, are you sweating?
No.
Do you want to start it?
Nope.
Okay. Grandma's back again.
Hi. She makes me do this.
All right, so we're back again today to make a dress. Right, Grandma?
All right.
It's gonna be a very simple dress though. So I'm thinking maybe a shift dress like this.
Oh, that's cute.
You like that? Or this one would be a little bit more difficult. Is that a lot of work? Okay, so which one should we do?
You're the one that's gonna wear it, not me.
I kind of like this one.
You're not gonna use any patterns at all, huh?
No pattern, so it's gonna be completely from scratch.
See this.
Okay, let's get started. So we need to make a pattern.
All right.
And then cut it out. Okay, let's do it.
This is so silly. I didn't want to do it. She makes me do it.
Alright, here's a preview of what the dress will look like. I used about 2.5 yards of fabric for this, and I also used a 20-inch invisible zipper going down the back of it. If you know me, you know I get down with some brown paper bags for drawing my patterns. We used this blue jumpsuit to help us with tracing the bodice. So we're just laying it out and tracing the front bodice. And now for the darts. Let me tell you about the darts. So my grandma and I drew the darts pretty willy-nilly for this pattern, but to give you a better visual understanding of how we did that, let me just recreate it for you. So I'm gonna add a dart to this pattern that has no dart, and I'm gonna mark the end point for the dart. And then I'll draw a vertical line going down from there, and then I'll cut it with some little baby scissors. Then I'm gonna open it up by 1 inch, and then draw some lines. Draw some more lines, and more lines. All right, now I'm gonna close the dart, and then finish drawing these 3 lines all around. Now I'm gonna draw some lines 1/2 inch on each side of the vertical line, and that is where the dart will go. Okay, back to the project. Now we're cutting out the front bodice piece and making sure it fits. Now for the back bodice, we're gonna use the front bodice pattern for reference. The only difference is we need to leave extra room for the zipper, right where my grandma's pointing. And we're also gonna make the neckline a little bit lower. So we're gonna fold that down, and now we're gonna trace it. And this one also fit. We're also making sure the back bodice matches the front bodice in width. We got our patterns. Alright, it's cutting time. We're using a dress that I already own to trace the skirt. So there's the front of the skirt. And we're gonna use that same piece to cut the 2 back skirt pieces. Okay, wait, pause. I have no idea why we left that much room for the zipper. It should have only been 5/8 of an inch. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix that later. Now we're cutting the front bodice on the fold, and then we'll cut the 2 pieces for the back bodice. Okay, this is the part when things got a little confusing. My grandma held it up to me and thought it was way too small, so she was all upset, but then it mysteriously ended up fitting a few minutes later. So there's no explanation for what's about to happen.
You know what? We didn't leave too much. Very little. Well, how do we cut those papers? When you sew this to the front and that one to the front, to the back, the front.
The back or the front? So what to the front? Is that the back?
What is happening here? What's happening? I hope the front fits. Yeah, the front's good. Wait a second. What? This is weird. It looks like it's good. How'd that happen?
Okay, the last thing we're cutting is 2 strips for the straps. Well, that's a tongue twister. There we go. We got our straps. Well, hey guys, it's a new day. I'm in a new building and my grandma's not with us anymore. That sounded like she died. She's not with us right now. So we are just on our own at this point. Before I start sewing this, one thing, I realized that this fabric is pretty light and thin and a little see-through. So I decided to make a lining for everything. So I cut duplicates of everything. Alright, now that all that's out of the way, I'm gonna get my sewing machine and then we're just gonna start sewing this. Got my bobbin loaded. Shoot. All right, we're gonna start with the bodice front. The first thing we have to do is add some waist darts right here. So let's do that. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna mark where the center of the bust is. Then I will mark 1 inch below that. That is where the dart will end. And then I'm gonna draw lines 1/2 inch out from that vertical line. So I'm gonna fold it and pin it and keep pinning. Okay, now I'm gonna sew along these little pinned edges and then we will have our darts all done. Also, since we're talking about darts, I don't know if you've seen some of my older videos, but I have been doing darts pretty terribly all along. I thought that darts were supposed to start, you know, here and end like right where the center of your bust is, but that's not true at all because I was watching a video last night on dart manipulation. I couldn't sleep, so I was like, well, let me just learn about darts. And they said never make a dart end right where your right where the center of your bust is because they call it deer in the headlights, I think. Basically, you don't want that to be the center of attention. So don't ever put a dart there if you don't want that, because I don't want that. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sew this now. All right, now we arrive at the part where I definitely 100% messed up. Right there. There it is. I messed up. After I added my darts, I cut the lining to match. But my grandma said I should have put darts on the lining as well, or else I'm gonna be squished in, is what she says. Alright, moving on. I folded my 2 straps in half, and I'm just sewing them along one side. And then I'll flip them inside out, which I'm just terrible at. And there we go, we got a strap. So I just pinned it all together to make sure it fits, also to see where I need to sew my straps. But don't make any judgments yet because I have to make a few adjustments before we go any further. But this neckline is a disaster. It's really, really wide. So I'm gonna cut like 1 inch off of the neckline. That way I'll bring the straps in a little bit because they are just way too far apart. I also definitely look a little bit rectangular in this dress. So I'm gonna cut about 1/2 inch off the back bodice pieces, and then I'll cut the same amount off of the back of the skirt to match. Also, I'm being poked by 1,000 different needles right now, so that's great. Oh no, do you see this? There are pins falling out by the dozen right now. Okay, not by the dozen, that was the second one. It hurts, it's hurting me. Well, you know what time it is. We finally made it to the good old sewing table. It should be smooth sailing from here, unless it's not. Unless this just crashes and burns. It doesn't fit, unless I mess up So many things that could go wrong. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is sew the front bodice to the back bodices and connect them right here down the sides where they come together. So I'm just gonna lay the front bodice down, and then I'm gonna lay the back bodices down right sides together, and we're just gonna sew them down the sides. Okay, we're almost done with the entire top of the dress. So now is the most exciting part. We're gonna connect the dress to the lining and also to the straps with just one simple seam across the top. So let's do that. Okay, I'm laying down the front of the bodice, and then I'll lay down the lining right sides together. And then I'm gonna sandwich the straps between the two, but not right up against the corner. Leave 5/8 of an inch room. And then I'm gonna pin it and do the same for the other side. Okay, now I'm gonna grab the strap and bring it over to the back bodice, and I'll place it between those pieces. Just another strap sandwich. Why do I say the things I say? All right, now I'm gonna sew all along that top edge. So then when we unfold it, it will look all nice and neat. Whew, this is complicated. That was terrible. Wow, we did it. We did it! I'm so excited. It's skirt time. We're almost done. Much like the bodice, we need to sew the front of the skirt separate from the lining of the skirt. So I'm gonna lay down one of the front skirt pieces, and then I'm gonna lay the back sides of the skirt down right on top, right sides together, and then we're just gonna sew all the way down the sides. And then we'll do the same exact thing to the lining. All right. We got all of the skirts done. This is gonna be the skirt, and this is gonna be the lining. Now that we've done that, we can just put the dress together. So now we need to sew the skirt to the bodice. Okay, so I'm gonna separate the bodice from the lining, and I'm gonna put the skirt down right sides together and pin it, and I'll flip that around. And now I'll match the bodice lining to the skirt lining, right sides together. So then when it's flipped right side out, none of the raw edges are showing. They're just all sandwiched in there. Why do I keep referencing sandwiches? I think I just want a sandwich. Okay, so now I'm gonna sew along both of those pinned edges. Look at this. It's really starting to look like a dress. Look at this. Oh my gosh. We are almost done with this dress. Now we just have to put the zipper in, which is 100% my least favorite part every single time. But let me show you how I'm gonna do it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take the zipper, open it up, and then I'm gonna place the zipper down right sides together. And I'm gonna fold that flappy little foldy thing at the top down, and then I'll pin it. Now I'm gonna bring the other side over and pin that side. All right. It's zipper time. I'm really nervous. We've come a long way. We can't turn back now. I think we need a moment of silence first. Okay, I'm ready. I hate this. Oh, whoa. I almost forgot to put my zipper foot on. Sewing is all about living and learning, you know? It's about, where's the button? It's about making mistakes, learning from them. What are all my other foots for? Whoa, this one's cool. My other feet? This one's cool. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what that is for, but I'm gonna use my zipper foot, even though I feel like it's not proper to use a zipper foot for an invisible zipper, but I watched a tutorial, and guys, let me tell you, it's possible. So we're just gonna do that, because I don't know how to use the other one. Okay, now we're ready. I'm getting nervous again. Here we go. Slow and steady, slow and steady. No! No! No, 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 no. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. My bobbin just ran out of thread like halfway through that zipper. Okay, it's okay. Okay, that is done. We did it! Okay, now we need to close the center back of the skirt. So I'm gonna sew a seam there, right where the zipper ends. And for the lining, I'm gonna pull it down over the zipper on the inside, and we're gonna sew it right along the seam allowance. So not to the garment itself, only the seam allowance. And then I'll stop right before I get to the end of the zipper. And now we can close the center back of the lining. So I'm just gonna sew all the way down. Guys, we're on our very, very, very last step. Praise the Lord. Now we just have to hem the bottom of the skirt. So I'm gonna start with the outer layer of the skirt. And I'm just gonna do a normal 1-inch rolled hem. And then I'll cut an inch off of the lining, and then I'll hem the lining. So now the lining is 1 inch shorter than the skirt. Guys, we're done. Here is what the dress looks like. I love it so much. And I'm actually shocked that it fits this well because I was worried for a minute there. But thank you for watching. If you're still watching, comment down below if there's anything sewing related or not sewing related that you want to learn, and I'll try to teach you. But anyway, I'm gonna go eat some lunch now. So thank you for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.